So, I have an announcement. I am moving away from New York City, out of Brooklyn, out of Bed-Stuy, out of my little studio apartment, and I am going to Austin, Texas. I'm so excited! I'm moving to Austin, Texas. Moving to Austin, Texas. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah. I can't wait, but I also can wait because there's so much shit to do, and I'm really stressed out because I'm doing all of it myself. I only have 2 weeks to pack up all my shit. Time is condensing right now, and I have a to-do list that's like a mile long. I don't have an apartment set up in Austin yet, so I have to find an apartment, I have to find movers, or decide that I'm moving myself in a truck, figure out if I'm loading the truck or hiring people to load the truck. I have to get my last doctor's appointments in because I won't have medical insurance for 2 months. I have to get my last haircut. I'm doing a music video with Jennifer Vanilla as a backup dancer. I'm gonna do a photo shoot. I have a show on July 27th, and you all should come. Everybody who's in New York who's hearing this message should come to my show on the 27th at Elsewhere with Mark Rodito and Ehio Robo. I have a cat now, so I gotta figure that out. This vlog is an announcement, but also a way for me to digest the fact that I am moving. Now you know. I'm so excited, honestly. It came out of left field. I wasn't necessarily looking to move to Austin, although when I went to South by Southwest a couple years ago, I felt like it was a place that I could live. You know, what really sparked this move to moving was my boss left Droga 5, where I work, and the company was also acquired by another company. I also started doing Depop. And those three things together really sparked this feeling of hey, I want something else. Because when big changes happen, it puts things in perspective. You think of things differently. You recalibrate, and that's what I did. And when I started doing Depop and realized that, someday I want to have a storefront. I want to sell vintage clothes and maybe have an area with CDJs to teach girls how to DJ or have workshops. And there's absolutely no way that I can do that in New York City. Unless I made it big and, stayed here trying to get millions or something, there's no way that I can do that. So my first thought was, I want to move to Madison, Wisconsin, because my older sister lives there. And I've also just wanted to be closer to family recently. I haven't lived close to family for almost 10 years. It's hard, it's your friends become your family, and that's super important. But there's nothing like family, and especially as you get older, I definitely crave time with my family, and it takes $500 to see them, so I see my mom once a year, and my older sister has 3 kids, and I feel like I'm missing out on their lives. So I was okay, Madison, Wisconsin, maybe I can swing it so that I can work remotely, because what I do, there are some people that work remotely in business affairs. So I put some feelers out, didn't really hear anything back. Then I got hit up on LinkedIn for some other jobs. Squarespace reached out to me, and a company in LA for business affairs, which is what I do outside of music. So I went through that interview process, I got a job offer, and at the same time was very unsure of whether I wanted to stay in New York actually, because Squarespace was such a great opportunity, or if I did actually want to move to LA and trade cities essentially and go through that whole move, flipping from one coast to the other. I wasn't sure. And as the interview process went along, I wasn't really getting any more clarity. But then a recruiter reached out to me and had this great opportunity in Austin. I almost didn't take the call because I was so stressed out with these other 2 jobs that I was interviewing for, but I'm so glad that I did because it's like just a really great opportunity for me in my like work life. I'm going to start the business affairs department at Preacher, which is an ad agency there. For the past few years, I've been thinking, what's my next step? Because I've moved a lot in my life. Like, I've lived in 5 states, 13 houses growing up. Then I went to college out of state, and I went and lived in Munich, Germany for a year as part of my German studies major. And then I moved to New York City, and without knowing anybody, except for like a few internet connections. And I've survived here and I've thrived here. That's my whole little mantra of like how I feel like New York has been for me. Because I grew up on a 40-acre farm and was homeschooled. I mean, I had dreams of moving to a big city and with my music and like becoming some star when I was a little girl. And when I moved here, my whole thought was, I'll give it 5 years. I'll give it 5 years, and after that, like, I'll probably want to do something else. And it's been 5 years. I've given New York a lot of myself, a lot of my time and energy, and I feel like I'm ready for a new chapter. I'm ready for less people, honestly, is my, like, #1 thing. Commuting to work in like mobs of thousands of people every day is not really my vibe. I love public transportation, but it's hard to be packed into subways with no standing room for days on end. Even after you get out of the subway, walking in the morning foot traffic rush hour, there's just people everywhere. I feel like Austin, it'll still be a city, you know, high rises and lots of people and culture, but it won't have the millions that New York has, and I won't feel like so swallowed up, you know, because I do feel swallowed up by this city a lot, and I think that that is a byproduct of living here. Even if you have friends, you can feel really lonely. Yeah, I just want more space. Also, for an apartment, like, I'm in a studio apartment right now and pay an obscene amount of money. I want at least a 1-bedroom so that I can have a studio. I started to realize that Austin would be the perfect fit for me because not only are there less people, there's also a huge music scene there, and there's more live music there. Being in New York, there's a lot of DJs, and live music doesn't get as much appreciation as I think it should, and I'm hopeful that in Austin I'll be able to have that mix of electronic and live music. You know, like, I DJ as well, but I really perform live, and so I'm hopeful that Austin will be that place. I mean, you've got Austin City Limits, you've got South by Southwest. August 5th is my first day. Like, this is like happening very fast. I'm moving! I'm moving to Austin, Texas. I am moving to Austin, Texas. It doesn't feel real, really, especially because I keep going out and having like great times, and part of me is like, am I just having like a really extra great time because I know that I'm leaving soon, and so now I'm appreciating everything? I've been going to a lot of raves and looking around and realizing how many amazing people there are in New York and how great the music scene is here. It's making me sad that I'm gonna leave. It's just funny to me that I feel the most New York now as I'm getting ready to leave, but I guess that's like a good sign too. It's important for me to leave New York on the best terms with the city, sort of. Like, I'm breaking up with the city. It feels like I'm breaking up with New York. I've had enough, you know. I feel too alone in this relationship with the city. I have one super good friend in Austin. Her name's Taylor, We were besties in college and lived together, so I feel like I at least have like one homie that will hold me down. But apart from that, it's all gonna be new. I'm gonna have to make new friends again. It's like starting over again as I get older is just, it's more and more intimidating. It takes a lot to pack up your life and move somewhere else and decide that it's best for you, trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to know that you know what's best for you, and trust your gut. It takes a lot. And I've moved so many times in my life that it's like every time sort of is harder, because it's hard to leave connections that you've made. I have a really good feeling about Preacher though. The ad agency that I'm going to work at, they seem so amazing and like a little family, because it's a smaller company that I've been working at. Droga 5 has somewhere around 700 employees and Preacher has 68. It's gonna be much more of a family vibe, I think. And I think that that might help the transition for me. But yeah, I still have some reservations. For the most part, I'm really excited and I'm really ready. It's a lot to process. I'm like reminiscing before I even move. I'm in my thoughts a lot. I was at a rave the other weekend and I had a moment at like 3 a.m. on the dance floor when I was like just started crying because everything around me was so beautiful and I couldn't stop, and I really needed to cry, I think. Just like let it out. But it was really intense, and I'm so grateful to New York for like the friends that I've made here. I think that's the number one thing that I'm glad about. I'm just like trying to breathe. My mom keeps telling me, just breathe. I'm like, I will. I want to shout out aBBi Molinari because he's been holding me down, like holding me really down right now. So much has changed since I moved here, and in really good ways, you know. It's been hard, but I'm like really thankful. First, I'm going to drive to Iowa to visit my friend and see her new house. And then I'm going to drive down to Austin from there. And I'm basically driving because I don't want my cat to annoy people on a flight, because my cat yells really loudly because I think he's deaf and he doesn't realize how loud he meows. Yeah, he yells really loud. So I was like, I should just road trip and it'll be better. But yeah, I'm gonna drive, I'm gonna road trip to Iowa with my cat, Juniper, and he's gonna be my little companion. He doesn't know yet, but he's really excited, and it's gonna be a blast. But I have a lot to pack before that. I have a lot to sell on Depop, so go to my Depop page, depop.com/aBBiPress, buy some shit. I only have like another week that I can ship stuff, and then it's going back to Goodwill. It might go to a landfill, so don't let that happen. Go to my shop and buy something, and I will ship it to you with love. I'm also planning on having a moving sale outside of my apartment, so look out for details on that. I am planning to just be drinking all day and selling stuff outside on the sidewalk. Please come to that and take away all of my things, because I cannot move with all of this stuff. It's very daunting. I don't want to be daunted right now. I'm stressed out enough. So come to my moving sale, come to my show on July 27th at Elsewhere, and keep being lovely people You know, keep doing what makes you happy. Keep following your gut and your instincts. And like, share, subscribe. Until next time, probably when I'm in Austin, Texas. Here's looking out. This is aBBi Press. Bye!